Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is for you. You notice I say that every single time because I never know when you're watching. I never know when you're listening. But one thing I do know, I'm Eva Marie Everson, the director of Florida Christian Writers Conference and the president of Word Weavers International. Almost messed that up. And my favorite sidekick is over here. Her name is.
Hi, I'm Taryn Souders, and I'm the co-director of the Florida Christian Writers Conference, and I'm the vice president of Word Weavers International. And with us today is Miss Jean. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
I'm Jean Wilund, and I'm the president of Lexington Word Weavers, and I'm also a mentor of several chapters, and I am the liaison at this conference, the Florida Christian Writers Conference, for the Brainstorming with Experts.
Yes, I like the way she said that. Liaison. Very French, very French.
Leave it to Jean to make it fancy.
I know. I should have like a little cafe latte or something.
Very important position.
It's just such joie de vivre. Anyway, so, this is something that I think makes us special. We started this a long time ago. And I do know that other conferences do this, but I think it makes us special that we offer it the way we offer it. Every year, we have asked the faculty who would like to meet with the conferees for an extended period of time. So instead of just the free 15 minutes, it's a 30-minute meeting with a conferee, and they've gotten their work ahead of time. And the conferee can talk to the expert about whatever they want to talk to them about, whether it's what they're working on right now, career choices, where do I go from here, things like that. And this has been very successful. It's between the conferee and the mentor. So it has grown to this place where we felt like we needed someone over it, not us, not Taryn and me. We have enough to deal with at the conference every year. And so we have asked Jean if she would oversee it. And she has got an incredible collection of people who are the experts this year. So let's talk about it. Jean, who do we have?
Well, we have 24 experts.
Wow.
So whatever you're writing, wherever you are in your writing journey, we have someone who is an expert in that area. So that is a tremendous benefit. So we've got anywhere from fiction, women's fiction, to romance, to nonfiction, to children's articles, even career. I love that aspect of it, is that they can look at all that you're doing and help guide you in your next steps for your career. And so we've got Shelley Arnold, Karen Berry, Deborah Butterfield, Kathy Room, Sherry Cowell. I don't know if you want me to go through all these things. Victoria Doorstock, talk about social media.
Yes.
That is a huge platform. She's an expert.
And that girl, I'm telling you, she knows how to rock social media. She was one of the first ones who just, on her own and by her own devices, had so many Instagram followers. It boggled the mind what she did just on Instagram alone.
Right. So she's got that, and Lori Hatcher is going to be leading the speaking track. And writers must eventually be speakers.
Yes.
So she can help with that, but she's also been an editor of a magazine. So if you want to publish, get into magazines, she can help you with that. She is written several devotionals, award-winning ones. So she's got a broad area that she can mentor in as well. Bob Hostetler, I mean,
what can we say?
We even want to go there.
Do we even want to go there? No, we really don't. Now, for those of you who don't know Bob is an agent with the Steve Lobby Agency, which is, very prestigious. And we love Bob. Bob is also a pastor, and he's just a funny guy. And we love to pick on him. He loves to pick on us. So you'll hear us a lot of times talking about Bob in what may sound like a negative tone. It's not. It's all in fun. Everybody loves Bob. There is that movie, What About Bob? So of course we won't go there. But Bob is a kind of faculty member who lets us know that he expects donuts in his room when he arrives. So it's like, okay, we've got to make sure we have donuts for Bob. He's a real hoot. But boy, does he know this industry. He would be a great one to sit down and talk with about career choices and where do I go from here, whether he signs you as a client, or you have signed him as an agent, et cetera, it doesn't matter. Bob can really help you, as they all can. Go ahead, Jean.
One of the greatest benefits that I've gotten from him, because I've met with him many times.
Yeah.
He's an amazing brainstormer.
Yes, he is.
He loves to tackle an issue, bring it to him, and it's fun to watch his mind just go in options. And with his vast experience, you're going to walk away with golden gems of what to work with. So highly recommend him.
Yes.
And
I mean, he's a jokester when the time is right. He is an amazing speaker. You know, he always leads, he does our keynote on Sunday mornings. He is amazing with that. You know, people will stay just to watch Bob or to listen to Bob. He's so good. But you know, when it's time to be serious, he's the man.
Yep. Edie Melson, look at her, the wit that she has in her experience, from speculative fiction to nonfiction, social media. She started writing articles. I don't even know how many articles that she's written. So she has a vast experience too that you can pull from. And she really specializes also in soul care. She really cares. And I found that from the beginning. She was one of the first people that ever helped me with my writing. And she really cares about your soul. Are you nourishing your soul spiritually as you write? And so, not that all of them do. That's one thing I love about this conference. It's definitely heavily centered on making sure that we're going to honor God in everything that we're doing. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, and Edie actually leads our spiritual track at the conference. You know, sometimes you're at a place in your career where, I don't need to learn anything more as far as the continuing classes. I've already done this, I've done that, et cetera. But, and I definitely want to be there, and I want to take some workshops, et cetera, et cetera. But my soul is in need of care. And so she leads the spiritual track at the Florida Christian Writers Conference. Ironically, I lead the spiritual track at Blue Ridge, which she's the director of. And when we started this, we just discovered, wow, this is really important, because writers, especially writers who are Christian writers, we can spiritually burn out if we're not careful, because we're constantly pouring in. We're pouring in through our writing, through our speaking, through social media, et cetera. We're pouring into someone else, and we're not pouring into ourselves. So that's very important. And I think we're going to have Edie on in a couple of weeks, and she'll talk more about that. But she's brilliant. She's absolutely brilliant.
Yes. Yeah, it's vital. I could find myself get caught up in all the aspects of the writing career and forget that it's all about Christ. And so keeping that central is so important.
Yes.
But also part of the writing track is not just learning how to do the writing, but what do you do with it when you're done with the writing? And so we've got Linda Glatz, who's going to help with navigating the publishing industry, because if you haven't gone through, which I haven't published a book, but I've done magazine articles a lot and online stuff, that's a complicated track, and it's ever changing.
Yes, it is. And I don't want to correct you, but I'm going to correct you because I don't want anybody else to get it right. It's Linda Glaze. There's no E on the end of her name, but it belongs there. I think we should have a petition to have Linda's name changed. Not the name.
I understand.
Name. Yes.
Jean Wilund. Who gets Wilund right?
Right.
Everybody wants to call me Jean Wilund, and I even did that at the beginning.
Yeah.
So I called myself Jean Wilund once.
Well, I get called Eva May. So, it's, you never know. But yeah, and I get the Everson and the Everson. They're not really sure. And I've done radio shows where they'll say, is it Everson or Everson? It's Everson. And they'll introduce me as Everson. It's like, whatever,
At least Taryn's name is easy.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, right.
I have gotten so used to hearing my name pronounced wrong. I actually introduced myself incorrectly once.
It happens.
You get so used to hearing it. That's
between the Taryn and the Souders, it comes out, Taryn, Souders, and
I get checks made out to Taryn Souders. I'm like, there's not even an N in my name, but luckily my bank is they're so used to me now that
Yeah.
they're like, oh, we know it's you.
So Linda, we love you. We're gonna petition that you change the spelling of your last name. Add the E. I mean, the E is silent, not really. So
Jean, let me ask you something about the mentors, because we've talked about how they run just this wonderful gamut of everything. Where would people find this information on the website?
Okay, so you want to go to the Word Weavers International site, then click on it. At the top of the bar, you'll see Florida events. So you want to click on that, and that's going to give you a drop-down menu. And at the very first one underneath that is Brainstorming with the Experts. So click on that, and it'll pull up all 24 of the authors, exactly what they are feel, specialized in mentoring. It's wide and varied, and the instructions of what to send them and their email address. That's the most important thing, is that email address, because you reach out to them, make sure they're still available, because they're going to get filled up. So you want to do this quickly. You also want to do this quickly because you want to have time to send them the information that they need. So you'll contact them through the email, and they can talk with you, find out what is it that you really specifically need, and then they'll know what they need you to send them. So that gives you time to prepare whatever it is, send it in, allow them the time to prepare, because you're not going to be the only one that they mentor. So don't wait and then expect them to be able to get it done. So we don't really have a cutoff date, because each person's going to be different, but they're going to have their own cutoff date. So I really wouldn't wait.
yes, absolutely.
And when you go online, I'm sorry, when you go online, it's going to start off looking like all these mentors are in alphabetical order. They are not. Keep going, because after Tina Yeager is Michelle Medlock Adams. So they are, you might think you've reached the bottom because they start off in alphabetical order, but then after that, it's everywhere. So please go scroll through. There's going to be a perfect fit for you somewhere in there.
Oh, absolutely.
Jean, you were saying, so then they email their mentor, and their mentor hopefully will email them back. And then where do they meet? Do they meet via Zoom? Do they meet in person? Can you tell us a little bit about the procedure?
Yes, you will meet at the conference. When you get there, that's when you're going to set your schedule, because the schedule is still being set for the teaching times and all of that. And so once that's all laid and set in stone, they will know when they have time available, because some of them are teaching continuing classes, some just a few workshops here or there. So the schedules are varied. So you will meet at the conference. They'll give you options that are available, that they have blocks of time when they can meet, because most of them will probably be, maybe all of them will be involved in the free 15-minute appointments.
Yes.
And I do want to talk about the difference between this one and the 15-minute appointments, but they'll have those available 15-minute appointments, and that's where they're going to draw from. So they want to meet with you as soon as possible so that they can X out that time, block it out for you. And then you'll choose a place to meet. Typically, we meet in one or two places. It's going to be either in the open lobby area of the Maple building. They have chairs and tables and stuff set out and scattered around, so it makes it very comfortable for meetings.
Yes.
The other place that's common is where we have the 15-minute appointments set up. I've done mentor appointments at those tables as well. So we have a couple of places that we meet. Typically, there's also outside areas where you meet. I've met on benches outside, always in public, of course, and for 30 minutes. So deep, comfortable, deep, really getting into your subject.
Yes. Yeah. And, have the questions that you want to ask prepared ahead of time. Don't get there and then try to think it through. Know what it is you want to speak to your expert about, your mentor about. They're there for you, but they can't pull it out of your brain. They need to know what it is you want to know. And then they can help you. And what we're going to do too is Jean will be set up so that everything will be set up so that if for some reason you go to where you're supposed to meet your mentor and they're not there, because things happen. Things just happen. Sometimes, they're walking to their meeting and somebody stops them and they're trying to get away, but we've seen a lot of things like that happen, or they go back to their room forgetting, because trust me, the faculty have so much on their minds and so much on their plates. You cannot begin to imagine. We are so blessed to have the faculty that we have. But sometimes, they're human beings. They forget, or they'll say, oh, I'm just going to go back to the room and brush my teeth, after lunch, right, forgetting that, oh, they have this appointment right away. And so that, they may take their time thinking they have a few extra minutes, or, any number of things can happen. And so we have now set it up, because Jean is over all this now, that instead of running around going, I don't know where my mentor is, you will be able to go to Jean. Jean will be able to get in touch with that mentor.
I think it was last year in Rachel Hauk's classroom, the door swelled shut or something, and we actually had the class trapped inside the classroom. We're like, well, we know who your mentor is. We just can't get to them.
We can't get her out. Yeah, that's right. I had forgotten about that. That is so true. It was it 2 years ago that happened? And
it might have been, because I don't think,
whatever it was. But I remember we had to call somebody from Lake Yale to come
bang
the door down. Yeah. So, things happen. Anything and everything can happen.
Yes.
So you will be able then to get in touch with Jean. Jean will be able to get in touch with them. So
yes,
that makes it much easier.
I will give each one of the mentees, I'm getting a list from the mentors of their mentees, and I'll make sure that the mentors and the mentees have my phone number. That allows you to text me or call me if you're at your spot and you can't find your mentor. You have a way to immediately reach out, and probably through text, just in case I'm, meeting with somebody or whatever. But this is my, it's primary focus of mine, to make sure that y'all are connected.
There you go. There you go. So
you had mentioned
go to
earlier
word-weavers.com/Florida events, or just word-weavers.com. Look in that far right corner. That's where it says Florida events. Click on that. Drop down menu, brainstorm with the experts, study it carefully. Here's a good question. Can they have more than one appointment?
Yes, I've had at least two. I usually would do two at each one. It's just so valuable. The 15-minute appointments are fabulous. They're free. You get there, you can sign up, but you have 15 minutes to introduce yourself and what you're doing.
Yes.
And then they have to think through it and respond.
Yeah.
That's not much time.
No. Sometimes 15 minutes is not long enough.
It's not, because you really haven't set everything up. With these 30-minute appointments, they already know who you are, what you want, and they've already gone through thoroughly what you've sent them. So your 30 minutes is a full 30 minutes. And I think almost every time I've been handed a review, a critique of what I sent them. So I also have something physical that I can take home with me that they prepared beforehand. So you're getting infinitely more. Well, not infinitely, that might be a little bit, hyperbole, but
a whole lot more.
So much more than what you can get in these 15-minute appointments, which are also very valuable.
Well, okay. So I was going to say, any other questions?
But you answered my question that I was going to ask, and that was just to go, what's the difference between the 15-minute and the 30-minute? And they can sign up for 15 minutes and 30 minutes.
Absolutely.
They should.
No, absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Because not every faculty member is in that expert pool. They are all experts, but they're not in the pool. Right. So you will want to meet, let's say, with someone, specifically as an editor who is not in the pool, maybe. So, this is your opportunity to meet with them, the 15 minutes, which brings me to another point, because we've gotten a lot of questions on this, especially from our newbies. When do we sign up for the 15 minutes? That is Thursday afternoon at 4:00. There will be a specific time set up. We will go in, you will be allowed to sign up with 3 of our faculty members, and then you circle back out. We'll probably do it this year the same way we did it last year, which is letting X number of people in that room at a time. because COVID is still an issue. And that certainly worked last year. You circle back around, and then once you're done, you can, everybody's done, you can go back in and you can sign up for ever how many you want. We just want to make sure everyone has a chance to meet with the top 3 people that they would like to meet with.
And I would like to just remind y'all, if you are coming a la carte, you're only coming for one day, whether that's a Friday or a Saturday, or a Sunday, although very rarely do we get someone for just a Sunday because that's a half day. You need to email me and let me know who you would like to meet with if you want to make appointments, and I will make those appointments for you, because you will have missed the opportunity to sign up on Thursday.
Yes.
So it's important that you let me know, and I've already made some appointments for people, so those are coming in, which is great. So just reach out and email. You can email me at floridacwc@aol.com, and in the subject line you could put appointments, and it'll make its way to me.
And also, if you sign up for a mentor, make sure you have contacted them about your meeting time before that 15 minutes, because that they need to be able to block those appointments before that 4 o'clock time. So they'll contact you, but don't wait for, make sure that you're being proactive too as a mentee. Be proactive to reach out to them, because they have a lot that they're keeping up with and trying to organize.
Yes. And sometimes, the mentor will want to go ahead and set the appointment up before you even get to the conference. And then when they get their sheets at the faculty meeting, they go ahead and block that off. But just make that one of the first things you do. If you are coming in a la carte, obviously, then you will want to contact them and say, this is the only day I'm going to be in, and this is what time I have, what time do you have, and then try to make that work.
Yes.
Now, Taryn had a really good question earlier before we even came on. She said, what happens, let's say a faculty member gets sick or has something happen where they can't make it into the conference. And of course, that happens almost every year. Something happens where we lose a faculty member, and you have an appointment set to meet with that faculty member. What do you do? Well, the faculty member will make sure that you get together, and Jean will make sure all this is followed up on, that you can meet via Zoom after the conference. So you are not going to lose that opportunity with the expert.
Right. And you will pay them directly. That reminds me, you'll either mail them the check, or you can bring it to the conference. This depends on your appointment, but that's something that you'll set up with that. We don't handle the money. We don't talk about the money, except
no. And this is I'm glad you mentioned that, Jean, because this is an extra $40. Is that correct? I'm sorry.
45.
Okay. So it's an extra $45 that you pay directly to the faculty member. This is not part of the conference as far as your payment. No, you cannot pay online, etc. This is between you and the expert. So and again, you know what? We always treasure what we pay for. And our faculty, they are so wonderful to give so much, and honestly, for so little. When you think about who it is that you're sitting down with and the vast amount of information that they are going to be able to give you. Everyone says across the board, this is like the best 30 minutes that they get at the conference. It's all good, but that one-on-one time is so critical and crucial and important. So we hope you'll take advantage of it.
You definitely should. I've done this where, like you, Jean, years ago I met with faculty members. In fact, the person I met with was Jesse from Focus on the Family, and I had him go over a story of mine, and he made a couple suggestions, and then Focus on the Family ended up purchasing it. So it's totally worth that time.
Yes.
You're going to hopefully see a return on, I would consider
on that
it
investment.
an investment.
Yeah.
So, it's not a guarantee, it's not a promise, but you're going to get some wonderful advice. So
yeah.
please.
And also it's a networking time, and it's those connections. It's what it's all about. It's those connections. Speaking of Jesse, for any of you who are coming in for Kids Lit on Wednesday, whether you're coming in Tuesday night or first thing Wednesday morning. Jesse is our lunchtime keynote speaker. I have asked him to share something I heard him share almost 20 years ago, and it's his testimony of how he came to Christ, and it will absolutely blow your socks off. You will, if you know Jesse, you will be so stunned by this story. So if you haven't signed up for Kidslet yet, and you've been toying with the idea, that alone it's an amazing story, and we hope that you will. Okay, we've got to go, so I'm gonna stop the recording. Taryn and Jean, you can stick around for a little while. I'll let you, and we will see you hopefully in a few weeks. Remember, if you haven't signed up for the Florida conference yet, you've been noodling on it. Now is the time. word-weavers.com/Florida events. Everything is right there. We hope to see you later in October. Bye for now.